And for a moment, I felt chills. I felt chills. I was like, oh my God, I'm really going to work with corona patients. Hello, everyone. So, good day. How's your day been? How has this whole situation been? So, I was gonna make this video after the whole corona pandemic thing was over, but I felt like I would lose the emotions to it and the feelings to it if I waited any longer. So I felt like I should just do like a part one, part two, update it from time to time so that yeah, it's good for me too. So this is actually today's Easter. Happy Easter, everybody. Yeah, Resurrection Sunday. And wow. We never, let's say the world, should I say the world? Or most people never thought that the corona thing would last up till now. We always felt like by now it should be gone. Because we all wanted to celebrate Easter, like, please. But the streets are still kind of empty. Yeah. But anyways, we are grateful for every good thing that we still have and how much better it will get. Because I, for one, I'm really positive about it. I'm really, really positive about it. I'm looking forward to really great things. And I believe that too. And I think everyone should try to do that. Like, believe for something better, irrespective of what is happening now around the world, irrespective of what everybody thinks. And yeah, I think we should all embrace a positive mentality because you only get what you meditate on, you know. Sorry, I'm a bit kind of slow today, and yeah, I really want to share that. So, in my hospital, I work at a teaching hospital in Heidelberg. For those that don't know yet, I work at a teaching hospital, what you call the Uniklinikum Heidelberg. I'm a nurse, and I work with the Springer Pool unit. Springer Pool unit is like a unit where they have nurses and or where they manage nurses, and I think there are some doctors in that unit. I'm not sure the health workers that are in that unit, but at least I'm sure of the nurses. And when a station, when I say station, I mean a ward or a unit needs nurses, they get from Singapore. Okay, now it doesn't mean that those in Singapore are jobless until they need nurses. As I think if you watch my video about the GPN, the Gesundheit Personalnet, you should have known by now that Germany needs nurses. So this Singapore unit is not underworked. No, it's not under, how do I use it? It's not. It's well used. That's what I should just say that it's well needed. So I have the opportunity to work in different areas in the hospital, depending on where the need for nurses is and where I am willing to work at. Because there are some places that I worked at, and I'm like, nah, I don't think I had a good chemistry with those working there. And just so that you don't have problems, just let it go. Because if you don't have a good chemistry with them, somebody else does. So don't make it a big deal. Yeah, don't make it a big deal. It's not really that serious. So yeah. So on I was what was that? That was March. For the month of March, I was supposed to move to the surgical orthopedic and surgical unit. I don't know how to put that in English. God help my soul. But I need to go to the orthopedic unit for the surgical unit of the orthopedic hospital. Hi. So I was supposed to start there in March, on the 2nd of March actually, because the 1st of March I was my free day, like my free day. So on the 2nd of March, I was supposed to resume on afternoon duty, and I was called by one of the administrations from my unit, like my Singapore unit. And she called me and she said, "Oh, I've been trying to get to you because of the corona incidents. We need people to work at the corona station. Can you please go there and resume today?" She wasn't asking me, she was telling me. If you know how Germans talk, you know they were telling you. They weren't necessarily asking you. So I was like, that moment of quietness. Because, in the beginning of the whole epidemic, we all had this, would I say, this little uncertainty about it. And that uncertainty can become fear if you're not careful. Because you don't know. Like, it becomes the fear of the unknown. Because you don't know what you're going into and what you're signing up for. So when she said that to me, I was like, oh yeah, there's no problem. She was like, it's not such a hard work to be there. It's really not that complicated. When you get there, you'll be told what to do. It's nothing out of the normal. And I was like, okay, thank you very much. And I dropped the phone. And for a moment, I felt chills. I felt chills. I was like, oh my God, I'm really going to work with corona patients. It was funny. And just before then, we already had, I mean, in Germany, or no, in Heidelberg, we already had one confirmed case. Just one guy who was confirmed. And his wife was not yet confirmed if she was positive or not, but he was confirmed. And he was already in the hospital. So I knew for sure I was going to be meeting a corona patient, at least one, until if there are more, then we would know. I felt like chills. And I was thinking, what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to just go there and like nothing? Am I supposed to just sit here and do nothing? Now I'm going to chip this in here. I think that was the moment when I knew, see, your faith in God is not useless. It's not useless. Being a Christian at that moment was, well, I say, the most priceless things that happened to me at that moment. Because just before I was called for that, a friend just felt led and she was texting me on WhatsApp, and she was texting me and she was just spilling blessings. She has a prophetic ministry and she was just spilling blessings. I was like, why did you think of me like today? Like, we speak, but probably speak once a week kind of friend because she doesn't live in Germany. So she was just speaking blessings, speaking healing on me. Funny enough, that morning I had a back pain, and as she was talking to me, the back pain left. And I was like, oh my God. So when I got news about me going there, I was like, God, were you preparing my heart for it? Were you trying to tell me that you knew about it? So that kind of gave me strength to go ahead. Now the next question came to my head. Who am I going to tell? Who am I going to tell? So I just told myself, nah, I can't tell my family because telling them will put them in a panic, you know? They'll get into this panic rage of, oh my God, what's she gonna do? Do you have to go there? Why not say no? And all of that. So I didn't tell them. So I didn't tell them. I told a friend, a very close friend of mine, just so that somebody knew. So that, just in case, and so that somebody knew where I was going. And another part, I don't know if this is weird, but another part of my mind was actually excited because I felt like, something new. I like to, I think that's the adventure part of me, the adventurous part of me that wanted to see, that wanted something new. I was like, oh, okay, I would like to be part of it because Corona doesn't happen twice in a lifetime. So I felt like, wow, I should see that. I would really love to be there, so that when the history is being unfolded, I can boldly say I was there, I was part of it, and I knew what happened. It was just, that moment for me. So yeah. Anyway, that's how I ended up agreeing to it. So I went to work that day. I can't give details of what happened because I'm not sure if it's ethical and to what extent I'm allowed to give out details. But I went out to work that day and it wasn't that bad. So where I was, we started with testing because we didn't have any patients to be treated. So we can as well just start testing to know who else had it. We also informed the family of the guy who was infected, was informed. His friends, everybody who we ever spoke to that period was informed. So we asked them to come for tests. And during that period, a lot of people were on vacation in Italy and France and all of that. So those places were already confirmed as red spots, like hot spots for the virus, for the spread of the virus. So it became in a necessity that when whoever came back from vacation should get tested and should isolate themselves until it was clear. Isolation was at the time 14 days. So isolate yourself at home, you alone. If you have a family, then find a way not to come in contact with them. Put on a face mask and clean up your houses. Advise them to use hand sanitizers and wash their hands often. You also wash your hands often. Often. So that's where we are. That's where we were at the time. Just testing. So every day we'll test, we do test and test and test. Now, testing people also put us at risk because we didn't know who was positive at the time. So you're just testing, but good enough. I think this is the point where I really applaud the German health system. I have to applaud them. They were amazing. They were amazing. When I say amazing, the things I hear now about not having enough work equipment in many other parts of the world was never a problem with us. Never. If it took them to wash gowns, isolation gowns, so that we don't use the what do you call them, the one-time use, the single-use ones. So they took it off so that we can use the ones they can wash and return and wash, because washing them, especially with the system where they wash, with the way they wash there, already kills the germ. So they could actually wash and reuse. So if it took them to even sew face masks for the workers, they did it, and I feel like that was great. And speaking from here till now, there's not yet a confirmed health worker in where I work, at least I know that, who got the infection from a patient. None. The workers who got it when they were outside, got it from home or a family member, or got it from a vacation, but not from a patient. That shows that our barrier system, the isolation system we have, is actually working, and it is protecting health workers. That's why I say I really, at this point, would love to applaud the German healthcare system. They tried. So yeah, we're doing tests, and we got more and more patients. Then we got this what's it called in English? I'm just going to say message. We got a message from the Ministry of Health that we should stop taking over. We should know what they call that thing. Oh God, I'm sorry. My German and my English mixes up a lot. So we should stop admitting patients with corona, the confirmed ones, and let them go home and isolate themselves at home. The reason why they made that choice was there are always going to be more cases, and we don't have enough space to house everybody. So unless they are really, really sick, do not admit them. Which I understood. Now, after that, there were a lot of other rules that came up about it, which was supposed to help curtail the amount of things we use so that we don't run out of it. Because China, which was at the time the highest producer of these items, were on lockdown, so we couldn't import anything from China. So a lot of things we had to reuse, a lot of things we had to clean and wash before reusing, disinfect before reusing. Not too many things, trust me. So I feel, that was for a while. And then we had a lot of patients, and not just a lot, not say a lot. We had a lot of cases in Heidelberg, where I am, and then it crossed over 100. I think it was 132. I think when it got to 132, that's when we now moved. We started bringing in sick people into the hospital, and then we started a taxi. What do we call it in English? It's like a home care plan, where the nurses and the doctors drive to the patients at home and ask them how they're feeling and see what's up, and take blood samples and test them, the swab, do nasopharyngeal test again to see if they're still positive, if they're getting better, if they've recovered, all of that. So that was because we didn't have enough space in the hospital to accommodate everybody. But those at home still needed to be taken care of and to be tracked so that they are not breaking the rules, because sometimes we send them home and they do just nothing. They go about their normal lives and assume that they can't infect any other person. And so far now we know it didn't help us. So anyway, yeah. Then we started taxi care. I didn't join the taxi care. I was still in the hospital. I still worked at the hospital. I still work there till now. And then we moved to the emergency. Then we got an emergency station when we got more than 400 people in Heidelberg infected. Then we had to open an emergency because we got a lot of old people who come into the hospital with coughing and did not know what was wrong, and we didn't want them to go through the normal emergency system, because that way the normal emergency system was not at the time, or still is not, for this kind of cases. And you don't want to expose other people who don't have anything to do with corona. You don't want to get them infected. So in order to create a barrier, we had a triage system to know the kind of symptoms that we should entertain. So we had a trial system. We got a new station open. If I'm allowed, I'll post a video on the site to show you what the station looks like. It was not that big, but it was like a transition station. If you know an emergency place, that's what it looked. Just pretty much an emergency area, emergency room, emergency station. Yeah, and we're able to create a way for them to come to the. We now had the corona section, as I said, to come to the corona section and to be tested by us, or I'll just be what do you call that, to be admitted if they're really really sick. Yeah, and that's where we are now. That's where we are now, taking over people or admitting the infected people who are sick, or people who are just sick and don't know why they're sick. Some people really got sick and they never knew they had the virus until they came to the hospital, and we checked them and they were positive, and we had to admit them because it can really get bad. It could really get bad. So far, I think I'm better off emotionally with the whole system, because I'm there every day. I see the whole thing. I see the stories. I see everything. So I don't have the unknown haunting me. No, I'm really clear about what's happening. And if it's getting better, I'm not yet sure. But I believe so far that the numbers are not increasing as much as they were increasing the last few weeks. So I think that's something which is good. I think that's good news. And we have a lot more recoveries now. When I mean recoveries, I mean people who were admitted they were sick and they got better and they were sent home. I think that's a good thing. We had one patient that was some days ago. I'm not sure if I followed up on that person, but we had a patient who was intubated. If you know what I mean by intubated, then it makes sense. Who was using a ventilator, yeah, and got off the ventilator, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing. At first, we are not having people who got off the ventilator. It seemed like once they got on the ventilator, they were gonna die. And so far, we got one who got out of the ventilator, and that was good. I can't say what the exact how it's going on or what the treatment is like, because I don't work on the ward itself. I work with patients who come from home. That's the emergency section. I work at the emergency section. So I only can do the tests, prepare the tests, and send them to the ward. But those at the ward know if they were finally positive and how they were treated and how they recovered. They can tell the stories better. But this is my story, and I felt like I should share it. But yeah, I believe that everything happens for a better reason. I believe there is still a God in heaven, and I believe that things are getting better, you know? So yeah, so far that's my corona story so far up until Easter. Let's see what happens after Easter. I am excited about it. I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait for people to continue with their lives, to start again, to start to be happy again, and to believe that, you know, that the God who we serve is a faithful God, and he's not going to let us down. He has never done it before, and he's not going to start with us, you know. Yeah, that's my corona story, guys. Yeah, remember to subscribe, like, and share this video. Um, yeah, and we'll see next time on my next video. Okay, bye, guys. I will try. I will try to post more content in the next few days, in the next few weeks. I'm not sure exactly how often I'll be posting content because I'm waiting for some things. So when I get everything in place, then I can say if I'll be posting once a week. I look forward to post at least once a week, to make a post once a week. I'm thinking of Sundays. So especially on Sundays when I don't have to work, then I can post on Sundays. I can't say exactly the day of the week I'll be posting because I'm a nurse. So I could work any day of the week and be free any other day of the week. So it's not necessarily clear for now. But until then, yeah, let's just hope for the best. Alright, guys, I have to go and I want to say bye, 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 bye. Till next time, guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Follow me on my social media platforms, and we'll keep in touch. Alright, bye, people. Bye.